Alright, welcome to part 2 of my explanation of the Crucible's current problems. Last time I focused on the issue of skill-based matchmaking and how it affects connection. Today we'll cover everything else. What do I mean by this? Well, if the game is searching for people with an emphasis on skill, there's clearly going to be confusion when a party of people with ranging skills join together. I have friends who sit across the range of abilities on Destiny. Now, besides them reporting the same lag issues I talked about in part 1, they have issues when playing with people such as myself. I have a very close group of friends and we regularly play games together as we don't all live close to each other. This is our social activity, but it's become degraded on Destiny because of the skill-based ability problem. Take one friend I have as an example. He has a 0.9 KD. If he plays in my lobby or with a group of us at once, he takes no enjoyment from the matches we play as he gets stomped. The counter argument being that he would likely get stomped without skill-based matchmaking? Well, yes and no. Yes, he would at times get completely destroyed in a more connection-focused algorithm, but it wouldn't be anywhere near as often. He wouldn't be playing people of my skill bracket regularly at all, as there simply aren't that many people at the top of the game. Combine this with the premise that playing a range of abilities is more fun, as per most FPS games, or at least how they used to be designed. If you go further and consider him playing against far superior players on a bad connection, well, he's going to have a bad time. What's wrong with occasionally stomping players and occasionally getting stomped by players? Nothing, in my opinion. It's a game, and he felt that he was actually improving more prior to all the matchmaking changes, and he had more desire to play when on a decent connection and being able to play with friends. A social game where you can't realistically play with friends is completely backwards. A couple of other friends I play with prefer to play Trials of Osiris without me now. In year 1 I was a valued member of the squad. Now I'm a hindrance. This is because from what we can tell there is skill-based matchmaking inside Trials of Osiris as well as regular Crucible. I went as far as creating a completely new character in order to test this. We found that we got a lot more players with negative KDs and win ratios due to this. We still did badly due to other factors and the matches still felt horrible connection wise, and go figure, but the statistical difference was very obvious. Therefore, you have to question why it now feels like anything but this, but also doesn't have a hardcore ranked playlist. Take COD Black Ops 2 League play, which was awesome. Overwatch competitive and Halo ranked playlists. You're given the option of how you want to play. Halo has even gone as far as offering different search settings so you can choose to wait longer in order to get a better skill match, a better connection match, and other such possibilities. Now, it may have been too late to add features such as these to Destiny once the problem had arisen, but it doesn't alter the reality of the situation. Things can be done better. If we take Overwatch as an example, this game is fun, straight up fun. Whatever skill-based matchmaking is in the game seems to be looser and the connections are far stronger. It allows a group of players of different abilities to play together and enjoy themselves. You can play to win, try out crazy strats, go in competitive, essentially do as you please, and the skill level and connections feel more balanced regardless of which you choose. This shows that these things can be achieved in a AAA title. It doesn't have to be this way, and in fact it didn't used to be this way in Destiny itself. Furthermore is the diversity of play evident in Overwatch. You can be a healer, a tank, a slayer, this and that and the other, and each character within these classes have their own unique feel and playstyle. This leads us to our next Destiny PvP problem. Yes, games have metas. You can't change this, however you can alter how strict and fun a meta is. Now, rather than me just harp on about what I dislike about the meta, I'm going to refer you to what another YouTuber named Lemvy recently told me about how he feels about the Crucible in this current time. The key points of his statement were that the Crucible is too inconsistent, hand cannons especially, fusion rifles, melees, supers, and several other things do not register on targets correctly. With the game moving into a more competitive state with MLG, etc., I feel like the game needs to be much more consistent than it currently is. He suggests that you remove Bloom, the accuracy cone effect that Bungie added in TTK. Primary weapons are too weak. Primaries should be able to hold their own against secondaries. At this point, you can just run at people directly with a shotgun. On snipers, the flinch is way too high. You can walk into a sniper lane with, for example, a pulse rifle, spray the sniper with it, and they can't do anything about it but back off. Those are his key points. As a point of politeness on my part, I will also mention that he has significant gripes with Trials of Osiris as a premise. If you wish to read his opinions on the game mode, I've put it in the description below. To give my opinions on Destiny's current meta, well, it appears to be shotgun dominated. Sniper nerfs, long times kills on primary weapons, other such factors, make shotguns all too powerful and the skill gap has closed in. The dreaded max range shotgun is the reason for this. If you try and play with a standard shotgun without a god roll, things are a lot more balanced. It's the max range Matador and other such shotguns that are a huge part of this issue. You likely all know what I'm talking about at this point. Overwatch, for example, again, yes, Overwatch is great, has hard counters for each class, although there are balance issues evident. But in Destiny there are times when there's nothing you can realistically do to combat a shotgun rusher. Yes, there are ways of playing to lessen the problem, but it doesn't alter the reality that there is a far more reward than risk to just running at people with shotgun. This gets old fast and isn't the same Crucible experience that you've had at other points in the game. The exotic hand cannon era of year 1 wasn't wonderfully balanced and everyone complained about it, but at least your primary weapon could take down an enemy special weapon before they reached you if they overplayed their hand. Throw in the god roll issue on other weapons where you can at times inconsistently map people with a fusion rifle or two-shot someone with a hand cannon, and you get an extremely watered down experience. It's have a god roll this and that, play your ass off, rinse, repeat. This is a quick and simple point. You can sometimes wait an age for a game, get frustrated, find a game with a poor connection, get more frustrated, and feel like throwing your controller at your console. It's not a healthy cycle. Lemvy that I mentioned earlier, I remember waiting to be matched against him. It was like 4 or 5 minutes to load a skirmish games. It's not acceptable. It happens way too often. Finally, we have the actual fact that the game's old. It can be easy to forget with DLC drops and weapon rebalances, but the game is old. It's the same game you've been playing since you bought it. It's going to feel stale. You may be playing out of some form of nostalgia trip. It may well annoy you more. You may well have less motivation to play and improve. It's unavoidable, so just pray that Destiny 2 fixes the issues discussed and enjoy that when it finally drops. To conclude, there are several reasons why you may be having less fun in the Crucible now. There's honestly little you can reasonably do about it, but it's okay, don't despair. It isn't just you. If you're anything like me, then you've easily got your money's worth from this game in terms of playtime, and maybe you just need a break. I no longer trust what I see on the screen in the Crucible, and other games are now just simply more fun for me. I'll still play, I still do private games, and I may even find interest in the game at some point. But it's sad that it isn't the game I once loved anymore, and I'd love for it to be that once again. I hope this 2-part explanation has been of some value to you. I've posted links in the description to 2 well-known people in the Destiny community who have taken issue with the Crucible previously, those being MTAS and Triple Wreck. I've also linked to Lemvy's channel, who I quoted for the meta part of this video. He's a cool guy and has some skills, so go check him out. If you have an opinion to share on this issue, whether you agree or disagree, then let me know. I'm Get a Good Guy. Layers.